welcome to Fun, 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 your favorite podcast about fun, where we take fun very seriously. As always, it's me, your Chuckle King, Dan, here to bring you all of the chuckles 24/7. That's just my business, is chuckling. With me, as always, is my podcast producer, Nathan. Hello.
Hello, Daniel. Yes. Do you like my costume today? I put on a special costume just for this episode.
I love it. What is it? What are you dressed up as?
A sad, underpaid podcast producer.
Underpaid?
No paid.
This isn't monetized yet. No one's getting paid.
You know how this outfit cost me a lot of money too. So
did it?
I didn't rent it.
I like it.
Didn't rent it.
You couldn't go with the V-neck. You went with the crew neck tee. No, you did. There is a V. Your microphone was hiding it.
That chest hair right there is also like just taped on. So
top notch.
Mm-hmm.
I have with us a guest that also takes fun very seriously and is in no way, shape, or form associated with the podcast other than his equal enthusiasm for the topic. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the king of Halloween, Tom, from fun.com. Tom, welcome.
Thank you. Literally, fun is my job, right?
It truly is.
I feel like it's a good podcast mix. Fun, and the guy who owns fun.com and takes fun as his job. Yeah.
Right. It takes fun very, very seriously and has like an empire of fun now. Like, you have taken it to the max. You have figured it out in the way.
The term is funpire.
Yeah, a funpire,
nice.
Right. Yeah. The guys who own Chuck E. Cheese, they can't keep it together. They don't know they haven't figured it out. They're like, oh, we need to capture fun, and they're out of business or whatever. But you man, you've cornered the market on fun, and people love it. It's amazing.
We're still trying to go. We're still this way. More fun to be had.
What I wasn't able to actually capture during my visit, let's talk about my visit in just a second, but are you like a local celebrity there in the way that like big car dealership owners are like on commercials and they're like, hey, come on down. It's Brown Daub Kia or whatever. Like, do people know you as the fun Tom guy? Like when you're in the diner and you're at the grocery store, like, are you known?
There's maybe a little bit of that. So oddly enough, the town I'm in Minnesota, Glenn Taylor, who owns the Minnesota Timberwolves, is also from our town. So like, he's probably going to be more of the well-known, like if you see someone out eating, it's probably him. Now, during Halloween and even the last week, I've had a ton of people stop me because they've seen my face on their content videos. Even my mom said, oh, you're a bunch of people are like, oh, you're the mom. You're the mom from the costume store. So our content's getting out there. People are seeing my face, even though that's not really what I want to be doing. That's just part of the job.
Part of the job. Yeah. You have great outreach. Truly, you have amazing outreach. Everybody knows who you are the minute they see you because you take a different approach to marketing your business than a lot of other people in your industry, in that you're like, here's the nuts and bolts. Like, here's how it works. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways, it feels like Walt Disney walking around the model of Disneyland in his office being like, all right, and here's the guys who've painted this. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool because it's like playful. It's like Halloween, Christmas, Santa, elves, Cupid, Valentine's. It's all playful. You know what I mean? Just costumes are playful. And that connection is fun. It's fun.com.
Yeah, there's a lot going around, right? We design costumes, we pick and pack the orders here. So it is a very different business than, so if I go to any sort of event, where there's like a bunch of finance people and different business owners, and then I get to say like, I own HalloweenCostumes.com, I'm like the cool kid or the pretty girl at prom, because my business is way more interesting than...
Yeah, exactly. And you're the one signing the checks. You're not just like the buyer for, Target.com or something like that. It's great to actually interact with the brand, like the guy who, makes it all run. It's really great.
Thanks.
What was it like having... Or what is it like, I guess, because I'm one of many influencers who've like stormed through that place and like left like a hurricane of destruction behind them. What is it like having us at fun.com? Like, what is that experience like for you guys? Because I was there, and let me tell you guys, it's the single most like chill, Like everyone's great, but everyone like is just working and vibing and quiet and like calm and like you think they're all raking a Zen garden. It's amazing.
You were there all right.
Yeah, and I was there like a hurricane. So what is that like for you guys?
It's good. Yeah, I would say I mean I don't know if you can see behind me, but like there's a bunch of color everywhere, right? We're fun.com. There's statues around the building. There's open, fun work environment for sure. We use
Skeletons everywhere. They're just
scooters to get
skeletons.
around.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, I mean, Dan, you've got, another level of energy probably anywhere you go, so you definitely feel that coming in, and
Me? What?
I don't know, there's a lot going on here anyway, so I don't know. It's not uncommon for like a giant inflatable broccoli to be walking by at any certain time, or a dinosaur.
Sure.
So like, it might actually be like no one even notices.
Yeah, like the best way I could end up comparing it was literally Santa's Workshop for Halloween. It feels like the Tim Allen Santa movies in that there are just busy little Halloween goblins. They're not elves. They're little Halloween goblins just toiling away, making Halloween happen. You know what I mean? And it's bizarrely magical. It is so cool. It's so cool. I feel like Tom Hanks in Big, although I am a human adult man now, and I'm not a child possessing a man's body, but it was, when I was there, it really felt that way.
Tom,
like,
Tom, I think he just called you the Goblin King, so congratulations on that.
All right. I led him into the labyrinth, and
You sure did. You sure did. All right. I want to talk about how it all started. The Tanuki Tom, as I call him. I love this little kid. He's the best in this Mario 3 costume. And I love the story you told me in the video that, and I looked it up, and your dates are pretty much spot on, that this game came out October 22nd, 1988, and you said to your mom you wanted to be Tanuki Raccoon Mario, most powerful Mario ever, Mario 3 Tanuki, and your mom just turned it out. And I think that's really cool. But what you ended up doing was renting the costumes that she made you and your siblings growing up?
that's how it started. Yeah. So my mom made the most amazing Halloween costumes like that one. Actually, oddly enough, I have a bunch here on my desk because we were talking about other video content of like different stuff she
Ooh.
made growing up. So
Oh,
maybe I'll grab
yes.
those
I would
in a little
love to
bit.
see her soft good. That's actually amazing. I would love to see what else your mother made soft good wise. I would actually be very interested in that.
Yeah, so it started there, and then my sisters had a bunch of friends that just wanted to use these costumes, right? When Halloween came, like, hey, could we borrow that costume? And they were going to college, and they were like, maybe we could just open up our garage and rent these out. And they put up a sign outside, really just down the street from the college, and rented out the costumes. This was 1992. So that was started.
That's magnificent.
Costumes galore is what it
Costumes
started.
galore. Yes,
Yep.
that was the original. That's the OG.
Yep.
And I love that your website. No disrespect, because HalloweenCostumes.com and Fun.com, fantastic websites. CostumesGalore.net is a time capsule.
Okay, I was wondering. I was gonna
beautiful
send
time
you there.
capsule.
If you want to see some, I probably have some bad pictures on that website. Like just
Oh,
what am I
man.
wearing?
What's more fascinating by is it's still a functional storefront. Like is it just connected to your system now? Is that how it works?
I don't know that you can actually rent anything on there anymore, but there's lots
No?
of great pictures and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you
Oh,
actually
man.
tried checking out. It
I
might
did.
not work.
I didn't like
There
try
you
to go
go.
all the way to give
Yep.
you money. I just like filled a cart with things. I could fill a cart. Like it was still worked.
All
It
right.
still worked.
I'm gonna
So,
assume it errors out once you try to
Tom,
try it.
I would have to say, I would love to contact life support and see what happens at this point.
Oh my, Tom. There's also okay. We'll just skip ahead
Let's
to
see
the
what
website.
happens.
There's also WizardofOzCostumes.com that's also still up and running that you own, and
Yep.
there's a live support.
That one probably still works.
Tom, if I call this number, will I reach someone in your building right now?
In the building next door, but yes, in our building. Yeah.
No way I'm not doing that for a TikTok and then doing a co-post with you guys on Instagram. That's happening. Just make sure someone knows I'm calling the Wizard of Oz live.
All right. Ask
I
him
love
some
that.
really random questions about a Tin Man or lion costume.
Right. What was the transition? I was going to ask you this a little bit later, but what was the transition from garage to web? Because like I imagine you still were online renting stuff. It wasn't like you were online. Like what? How did that happen? How did it go from garage to storefront?
Yeah, a few different stages. So first was kind of just growing that rental business. So they started making more costumes. Then we started going to trade shows. We got up to like 500 rental costumes. Then I was going to school for computer science and was just wanting to learn more about like building a website. So I built
Ooh,
a
nice.
website for Costumes Galore, just like here's where we're located, here's some pictures.
Homebrewed magic there, buddy. Homebrewed magic. It's magnificent.
Yeah,
The
and
fact that you don't have like a 16 by 20 screenshot of that printed on the wall at fun.com is a disgrace.
like the
It is.
original website.
Yeah, the original website. It's gorgeous. It's like art now, you know. As millennials, I kind of like miss the terrible websites of the 90s and double aughts, you know.
Oh,
Anyway,
I had an even worse one. The original one probably had like weird animated GIF of like dripping blood and
yeah.
you know.
Spooky pumpkin dancing.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
The Alec McNeil baby.
Like
doing
I gotta
that
see if we
thing.
can do this. Oh yeah, it works.
Yeah. You just having fun making a website. So you went to college. Your mom's making Halloween costumes. She's cornered a market. Costumes Galore is this fun little business.
Yeah,
And
I mean
then
it's
you,
open
the
like
son-
6 days, man. It's only open like
Right.
weekends and the Halloween. Yeah.
Right. We had a local business here in Allentown, in the Lehigh Valley. It was called Drop Me a Line, and they had like 400 different costumes that you could rent, and it eventually just went away. You know, they I think one of them died or something, and they just closed up shop. You know, but the fact that you went to online, I think, transformed your business and made it something that the mom and pop shops are
For sure.
not.
For sure. Yeah. I mean
So-
when we used to go to trade shows, there were thousands of little mom and pop shops, and they're all, you know, buying 2, 3 pieces of different like wholesale items. Now like there's 3 big, you know, retailers, and so
Right.
to think like out of the 2,000 shops that were at the show, how did I end up being one of the 3?
Right. Wow. Yeah. And I think really you had a big family, and like everyone kind of was like on hands. It feels like your sister still is involved. Your mom is still stopping in and checking up on how you're building stuff. Like there really is a family business sort of like success story with you guys. And I grew up in a family business, so I get it. Like the family's just all hustling together to make this thing great. And it's clear it's clear your mom had a lot of kids that she made costumes for. Big
Yep.
family, you know. I have questions about running Costumes Galore because I'm the idea of like the birthday party costume rental is something that I love. I love your unofficial Elmos and Cookie Monsters, you know what I mean, and your Dora the Explorers and stuff. Is that the vibe that Costumes Galore was? Were you like making your own Big Bird or whatnot? Like
Not necessarily. I think those ended up renting more online. Like the bigger mascot stuff was harder to find. But originally it was just the simplest costumes to make. So your Fred Flintstones that are just like a square box with some patches on it, right? Or a toga
amazing.
or something very simple. I think I actually you make me remember like there was a short summer I think where I like even rented out myself as like I'll come to your house as Spider-Man or you know like Captain
You
America.
have to dig out some. That's a great social story, man. I cannot wait to see these videos on TikTok.
I'm sure they
That's
don't exist,
amazing.
but
That's amazing. So you're out there thwipping.
I guess
Just
yeah. I think
killing
just
it.
making that summer money as a college student, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we
yeah,
rent it
yeah.
out. Like, well, if you want an actor to come, I'll come do it for a couple $100.
What? That's great. That's incredible. It's easy, you know. And you've got the Spider-Man frame, man. You could sell it. I
I'm
believe
gonna
it.
say,
I believe it.
announcing now for the next anniversary of Fun.com, you know, you're just gonna have to pull out that old Spider-Man outfit again.
I don't
The
know.
original one. We're
There's
have to get it back
there's
on
a
ya.
few costumes we don't want to see me in again. Should I? I'm gonna I'm gonna look through this pile of images my mom got and show some other ones
Maybe.
that
Yeah, okay,
also
amazing.
should not come back.
I think that's so great. What was the most popular costume that you rented, like once you had your big catalog? What was the thing that was always out?
Flapper costumes was one. That's why I started flappercostumes.com. And the other
Okay, yeah, I
one
wanted to
was
ask that. That was the first
Dumb and
website,
Dumber
right?
tuxedos were the other ones. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Oh, that explains so much. Okay, so flapper dresses.
Yep.
What was the thing? What was the things that was causing flapper? Like, I don't understand. Did you ever figure it out?
Not really. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's so it's
Just
a 1920s like fringe dress. I don't know. I think it's
yeah, like
like
a Great Gatsby kind
maybe
of thing.
guys liked being gangsters, and so it was a good like
Oh,
couple's
yeah.
costume.
The guides already had the
Okay,
suits. So they
Yeah,
didn't need to
so
do
right.
simple
anything.
costume and
So you sold a lot of flapper dresses. That's fascinating.
Oh, there we
Whoa.
go.
Yes.
what else we got? I don't know. There's some bad.
Oh,
This
I
one
didn't
isn't
realize
me,
we have
but
a.
let's see. These would have been some
Oh
of
my
the
gosh.
costumes. Here's
Flintstones
some
are, I
like
guess, really easy.
original old stuff. Gingerbread Man.
Just want to say preemptively, thank you, Mom, for bringing us these gifts.
Let's see what's I got. Elvis.
Oh, with the cape. I
Yeah.
forgot. Austin Butler brought that back.
See here. I'm gonna quickly flash. This would be the stuff we don't want to get Tom in again. When you have three older sisters.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. Uh, you guys were
Sorry. There's just so much good stuff. Like
no,
I gotta
it's
ask
so
my
great.
sister why did she have to be the flying carpet?
And
Uh,
that's so your mother just did what you do now, essentially. Just had a bunch of people around her, knew what kind of pop culture things were happening, Flintstones, Aladdin, Flying Carpet, whatever it
yeah,
was. She was just, and that's literally what you do now.
that's
Like,
true.
it's kind of
Yeah,
fascinating.
it's not much different.
Yeah, it's the business is still the same exact thing, just like now official. And I talk to a lot of creators, and I want to just touch on this for a second because I can't imagine costumesgalore.net had the official license of the Flintstones when you initially were making this Fred and
Yeah, and
renting them
renting
out.
one out. Yeah, it wasn't going to hit
Right.
any royalty guarantees.
Right, exactly. But ultimately, you're now in a place where you're handling brands like Scooby Doo, Flintstones, Sesame Street, everything, all these Disney specifically. Can you speak on how, like, making these things ultimately set you up for being the right kind of guy to, like, make the official stuff? Because a lot of creators are so afraid to make anything licensed because they're like, oh, if I get in trouble, I'll never be able to get the partnerships in the future because I made one wooden Epcot thing or something like, and it sold it
Sure.
on Etsy or something. And I think that, in fact, it's the opposite in that these brands look to people who have demonstrated, oh, I can do this really well. Trust me with your brand. Trust me.
Yeah, we've gotten a mix of both. We've gotten cease and desist in the past of like, yeah, shouldn't have been making that item, and then there's been some where we couldn't get a hold of who owns and nobody owns it, and so like we made it, and then they reached out like, hey, but we'll make it in the licensed version. That's also worked. But
Oh, interesting.
on the very big licenses, I would say it's like you got to come with here's what makes us different, here's why we're unique, here's the sort of guarantee that we can produce. You got to be at a different level to really hit those. But I would say like they prefer definitely people who are fans. Like they want people to take care of their brands. And,
Yeah.
it's easy to talk about like I have Ghostbusters and Star Wars and like it is easy for me to talk about that stuff and know like what characters are missing, what quality isn't quite there in the market. So a fan's always going to make a better product. And so that's one of probably our differentiators is we just have a whole company full of like super geeky, super nerdy fans.
Right, right. And the fans tell the best stories if you just trust them. If
Yep.
you just let them do it, don't worry about studio notes and just let it happen.
Yeah, they know, right? Like
Yeah,
there's someone in my team like where they will get everything core line correct. There's someone on my team who will get everything anime right or Sailor Moon
perfect.
right, and you got to get it to the right
Exactly.
people so that it makes the best product.
I love that. So we're really telling like personal stories now of employees. Like you're finding the guys who are obsessed with fun and having fun, just like you. It is like literally the best corporate like space. Like I had a blast when I came there to visit. Your employees were incredible, and everyone's desks are like lunacy. It's lunacy there at fun.com. It's crazy.
It should.
Yeah, there's some overdone. I like I'm pretty sure it's every Power Ranger that was ever made is on someone's desk, right?
Oh my god, that dude is awesome. He's in my video putting on his Lord Zed helmet and just giving a thumbs up. Man, the team is awesome. So it's great that you say that, because I think that, and you don't tell, I mean, I haven't heard you tell the story on TikTok, so I want to talk about it. I think your big fandom for Dumb and Dumber really like set you up for success, because you stumbling upon the novelty niche of renting Dumb and Dumber costume tuxedos for prom is incredible. How did that happen? Where did you stumble upon these, and like it like became this like genius idea?
So we were at one of these Halloween costume trade shows, and there's just booth upon booth of different stuff, right? You'll see a bunch of Santa Clauses, a bunch of scary products, I don't know, big inflatable stuff, and I see like, oh, an orange and blue tuxedo, right? And it's like, yes, right? And I was probably just got done with high school, so I'm like, if I could have wore this to prom, this would have been, everyone would have stopped, right? Like. And so I'm like, this will rent for Halloween, and it did. And then sure enough, like once I had it online, like it was way bigger for prom season, and they didn't just want the tuxedo, they wanted the hats, and they wanted the canes, and they wanted shoes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you, for a while, had the website dumbanddumbercostumes.com, which now just redirects to halloweencostumes.com. So it's okay to share. It's okay for these to get.
You can go to the Wayback Machine and see some of these old.
Oh, I have. It's
Okay.
incredible. It's magnificent. I love it so much. I'm so nostalgic for old web design now. It's so great. What color was the most popular? Was it the Dumb and Dumber colors, or did it surprise you that other colors were like, because I guess school colors really stand out when you're going to prom.
It's orange and blue. Orange first, then blue, then pink was number 3, and then it kind of trails off into your reds and greens. And it was kind of like, it was always like if you had 6 guys going or 7 guys, but it's always orange and blue first. And we even had, a small, short, a medium, tall, and we had like started giving all the sizes because it just kept
like a wedding
going.
rental place.
Basically. And my mom's now seeming, like making it a short, making it a long, and then we had to categorize all these into different boxes, and yeah, it was there was something there. We knew there was like, okay, this has some potential here, this online renting things.
Yeah, it really did. And I'm kind of surprised that online rental for costumes works so well, because in a day, you were like ahead of your time, because now women rent like beautiful gowns online on social media to wear to a thing and return and do all this stuff. And the idea of garment rental online, it feels so new, but to think that you were doing it like 20 years ago is bananas.
Yeah. Now it's probably a better like, oh, it's better for the environment, right? To reuse. But back then it was just like, it's cheaper and I can't find it. It was more of like, you're never going to find a Dumb and Dumber tuxedo in your town. So that was the reason.
No,
right?
It was the only accessible point to
Yep.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting, because I think the way that you make costumes now definitely reflects the fact that you were a costume rental shop before you were a Halloween costume manufacturer. Because I was hanging out with all of my costumes, unboxing it with my social media guy, who spent 4 years as the Syracuse Orange at his college mascot, and they transitioned from the old orange to the new orange during his tenure. So he got to like play around with 2 mascots, and then he went on to work for a bunch of baseball and professional sports teams as the backup mascot all the time. He's a little short, but he does great. And he is like buttoning me up in the How to Train Your Dragon official costume, my toothless fun.com exclusive made by us. And he's like, wow, this is exactly the material and the snaps that my costume was in college. He's like, this is not like a disposable single-use costume. These are like stage production costumes for like a middle school or a high school. Like they're really they don't fall apart when you wear them once.
I know.
It's wild.
I think it's just because we're all fans and just like, okay, it costs, $1, $2 more. That's all right. We like it, right? It's just like, just make it better
Right.
quality. Yep, include the feet, include the gloves. Like,
Include the
yeah,
You're not chasing the lowest access tier of like 19.99. You're not chasing that like 29.99 break for like
yeah,
the retail
that's
rack at
covered,
Target.
right? Someone
Yeah.
will have that. Let's make,
Right. These are for people who want the toothless costume with the tail, with the red flappy thing, and the teeth, and the embroidered eyes. It's great, and material, a fabric that's not like Five Below fabric. That's like a single-use T-shirt or
yeah,
whatever.
like
It's
it looks like scales printed in it, right? Like it's like a
Yes,
stamped
it's so
scale
cool.
print. Yeah.
It's so magnificent. What was the cornering of the Wizard of Oz market? Did you just rent a lot of the trio with Dorothy, and you're just like,
Yep.
all right, let's just make a website?
So that was the second one. So first was flappercostumes.com, where I borrowed $5,000 from my parents, went to the trade show and bought one costume in three colors, and then built that first website. And it, you know, did well that first year. I think I sold through 40% of my inventory that I bought, and so it was like, all right, paid for itself first year,
Yep.
Let's
There's
add
something
another
to it.
one, Wizard of Oz costumes. And there was some stuff online where you could find a Dorothy, but I was seeing stuff at the show that wasn't online. Think Munchkins and the Wizard and Glinda and so,
Oh,
just
okay.
deeper stuff that, okay, I think I could have a bigger variety than what I saw online.
Who were you renting these to back then? Like
Those were
theaters?
sale ones. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So
So
these once
Costumes
you got to
Galore
the
was
flapper,
rental. Yep. Then Flapper
got you.
Costumes was selling.
Interesting. Now you've evolved into this like business where it's fun.com is the flagship, and then you have halloweencostumes.com. Now you have halloween.com, which is awesome. I love it. I love the color scheme and the little eyeball logo. It's the best. You're like the domain king. You're sleeping on this. Everyone thinks you're just the king of fun, but you're really like the domain master.
There was a little bit of that, I guess. At one point, I owned t-shirts.com. But
Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, what's it like owning t-shirts.com? What's the strategery there? Can you walk me through young Tom being like, all right, the .com boom is happening. What?
well, no, I paid money for it. Once we got past like Wizard of Oz costumes, then they started. I couldn't just buy like Star Wars costumes.com. They were starting to like all the
Get
big ones
wise.
were gone. You had to
Yeah.
be like buy Star Wars costumes.com.
Right.
So it went away fast, but so t-shirts.com kind of came before fun, where we have this infrastructure, we're starting to sell a bunch of costumes, and it only happens 1 month out of the year. So,
Right.
one of the options is how do I get less seasonal? And so t-shirts.com, like ultimately fun.com would be great, but it's too expensive, or like, I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to get that. So
Yeah.
t-shirts.com became available by auction, bought it, tried to build up a whole t-shirt business. But then we acquired Halloween or fun.com like 2 years later. So it's kind of like, well, I can sell t-shirts on fun. I don't know that I need both of these. So I ended up selling t-shirts.
Wow. Man, Tom, you're not like the costume thing is like the silly front. It's like you're Batman. Your Bruce Wayne is very interesting, Tom. Your like smart businessman is very interesting. It's very fascinating because it is all a game of SEO at the end of the day and recognition and brand recognition.
Yeah.
And so having Halloween.com ain't nothing. Having HalloweenCostumes.com ain't nothing. Because I'm like I grew up before the internet, and I came of age in the time where it was like, and it's a novelty, but like now it's like ingrained into the zeitgeist. Just do the thing.com, but when I was like, just go to that, whatever.com, Power Rangers.com, whatever it was, Nickelodeon.com. So to have like a brand that's everyone's brand is great. It's great. It's great. It's like having the cool license plate in town, the cool novelty license
I
plate.
always put it towards like, I had to explain this sometimes to bankers because they don't quite understand like why is it so expensive, right?
Yeah, okay, that's good.
And then
That's
I have to
interesting.
go,
How
okay.
do you convince a banker to let you get money for an invisible, untouchable thing?
Yep. So a few, you have to show the data, right? First is like, okay, I have Wizard of Oz costumes.com, Star Wars costumes.com. Here's how many searches there are a year, a month. Here's how much sales we're getting. Here's how many people search for Halloween costumes, right? And so
Yeah,
do the math and go, okay, hundreds of thousands. This could be 50 million if you could get that same ratio. So that's one. The
yeah,
other one is trying to explain it's kind of like having a store in um, like downtown New York in what's the area called?
Times Square.
Times Square, right?
I love that you don't
You
know
can
what Times Square is
I
called.
don't know.
I think
Yes,
that is
those-
you, Mankato, Minnesotan,
I don't know. That's just
living the sweet life in the wilderness with the Jolly Green Giant and
no, just okay. But compared to being three blocks off of that, right? And so
yeah,
you instantly get brand recognition of, you get authority of, you can't have fun.com or can't have halloweencostumes.com and think like this is a tiny mom and pop shop. So you immediately get this authority. If you are going to compete on Google for either paid ads or SEO, like, are you going, let's say you search Wizard of Oz costumes, are you going to click on halloweencostumes.com or Zuzo or whatever name you're going to try to come up with? Like there's just this immediate, well, I'm going to trust
right,
that more, so you're going to get more
right.
clicks. And so there's just these 4 or 5 pieces where you can go, this is why the value of a domain is the value it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It becomes the thing.
I just think it's fascinating. You have to talk to a banker to get that. Like that's just like we're talking numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't necessarily have to if I had the cash, but it's still like okay, I paid $1 million for HalloweenCostumes.com, and now when we have it on our books, is like there's an asset there worth $1 million. They're kind of like, is it? How would I get rid of it? It's because they can't just go a costume. They understand like, so I'll just give it to
yeah.
someone will buy it, but the
Yeah,
domain name
inventory
stuff,
is different.
yeah, they don't understand.
That's just old money. That's just old money, I feel like. That just and it feels like crypto has ruined the idea of maybe them ever understanding the value of domains, because there's actual value in that where crypto is kind of pretend, so
Sure.
yeah, the ability to just go to thething.com really is a game changer. And I think that, Ed, I want to just pitch to you right here on air that you should go hard. I know you're trying to get like but we need to pivot. We need to get every domain under the sun now. Like I want to see your spiderweb empire of bizarre niche costume. Like it could be such a fun gag for you. And you have the web dev team to make this happen for you to pick up like here are the 10 niche websites we picked up this year. Because I love it. And they all need to look like Wizard of Oz costumes.com. They all still need to look like
Okay. So we were actually going to do like a TV ad to try to get people like, all right, how do we get people to click and think Halloween costumes for their Halloween costumes, right? Like, and the idea was, okay, let's create 3 terrible domains. Like, hey, if you're looking for fuzzy lawn gnomes, go to fuzzylawngnomes.com. If you're looking for,
this is good.
green
This is good.
pinatas, go to greenpinatas.com. If you want your Halloween costume, where do you go? HalloweenCostumes.com. So yes,
Good.
see, I got
like
it.
that.
Okay. So I
Yeah,
need
like
my
that.
terrible domains and then I guess some good ones too.
Yes, but those terrible domains, what I'm saying is, need to be real, and I need to be able to get then a green fuzzy gnome.
Okay.
That's what the Gen Z wants, man. That's what the meow wolfers want. They
Yep.
want to go into the fake store and get the weird
Yeah,
merchandise that
there's a
came
whole
from
website
nowhere.
for fuzzy gnomes. Got it.
Yeah. I'm just saying I think condensing the domain web is great for the big overall, but I want to see more of your dangly fingers, your business strategy. I want to see where it goes,
so
where
much.
you reach.
Who's running these things? Are you helping run these things?
Sure, come on. I'll move to Mankato. I will. We'll have fun. We'll play Fortnite all the time. It'll be
All
great.
right. You're in charge of fuzzygnomes.com.
I mean, he is one. So
Perfect. Yeah. We're gonna unlock a whole community you didn't even realize existed, buddy. People love fuzzy gnomes, man. Those people in Times Square that you don't even think about. Okay, so fun. The move to fun.com Was it just like the kind of thing where I could get t-shirts.com? Oh, now fun.com is available in an auction, and I think that this is a good pivot for like a big stake in the ground. Was that the decision, or did you
Not quite.
shop around?
Yeah, so it was when we had HalloweenCostumes.com, we were selling tons of Halloween stuff. I think there was just this thought of still the how do we do more off-season stuff? What would the ultimate domain for us if we wanted to sell pop culture stuff or, things outside of costumes? And it was just always, the best domain is fun.com.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I had reached out. It took me 5 years to get the actual domain through just negotiation. And so initially I couldn't get it. And so I bought buyfun.com, like BUY fun.com. And that
'Cause
was
that's what
kind
you're
of the,
doing.
the
You're
corporate,
buying fun.
that was the corporate stuff for a little bit.
Right.
Funny enough, when we bought fun.com, then we redirected buyfun.com to fun.com. And I saw some tweet that someone's like, buyfun.com bought fun.com. Mission accomplished?
Why isn't that tweet framed and hung on the wall next to your profile from Business Insider? That is
I
an
know.
incredible tweet.
That was pretty good.
Send that guy a free Halloween costume. We need to find him. Someone needs to find him. Twitter sleuths, get him.
Get on them.
That's so great. Okay, so before fun came up, were there other things that you were going to chase, other domains that were like appealing to you?
That was the big one. I think t-shirts came up, and that was one we looked at. Comicbook.com I owned for a little bit. So there was different, probably like
You owned comicbook.com?
books, plural.
Comic books, plural?
Yeah.
That's better. That's
Yeah,
better.
you
There's
don't, you
always
don't
more
want a
than one.
website with one comic book on it.
Yeah,
That would
there's
not be-
always multiple. You never go to a place with one comic book. There's always. So what happened? It was just a park and bark situation. Did you have a comic book business?
Yeah, I think I had it for a year, and it was like just getting into like all the inventory I would have needed to carry. It wasn't quite that. It didn't quite align with like we're making costumes, we're selling costumes. Comic book didn't quite land in
Yeah.
like our expertise. Um,
The things I'm learning today, Tom, are blowing my mind. I'm going to be thinking about this for the next 4 days. I'm gonna,
He has a mental problem.
yeah, I'm going to be thinking about what domains I can get for huge profits. It's not over, Tom. We can still think of new things to buy and sit on. I think that we can do it. We'll just have a whole department in your fun.com, the domain hustlers. It'll be great. It'll be like Wolf of Wall Street.
I don't know. There's a bunch of those already. Now it's super expensive. Like any three-letter domain is just super expensive.
Oh yeah. It's a business. It's a business.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I like how you defined fun on your website, and such a beautiful photo of you in that hat. You look so handsome.
Thanks.
Really knocked out of the park with that one. Remember how you felt the first time you saw the DeLorean hit 88 miles per hour, or how you felt right to be there as Luke blew up the Death Star, or cheering for Harry Potter he discovers platform 9 3/4. I loved the way that is the way you defined fun. That's exactly how I think of fun. It's exactly, we just saw Back to the Future, the musical, both of us, not at the same time in the same place, in completely different states. I was in Times Square, you were in Minnesota, but I'm sure you felt it. Like that moment that the DeLorean speeds up and like hits that moment in the musical and disappears. It's wild. I felt like giddy like a child. It's so much fun. It's so magical. And so you've really kind of like got this great market where all of the things to recreate that magic is like in one place.
We
at
try.
one time.
It's definitely a fun job, right? I could sell the business. I could have sold the business by now, and not do anything, right? And just go live on a beach. But that's not me, by the way. Like I just can't do that. I'm a little bit. I need to do things and feel accomplishment. But like I think we also have on our website, like we have the job we all wanted when we were 8. Like we get to
Truly.
ride around
We
on
truly do.
scooters, and we get to make Halloween costumes, and that's fun, right? It's you get to try on a bunch of stuff, but like making some like no one's ever made TikTok croc, or no one's ever made some of the Moana characters and just thinking like, man, I know people out there want that the same way that I wanted the Super Mario, and to be able to like fulfill that and also see the quality and design and feel good about what we created. I just get energized by like finding that people are looking for this, we solved it, and people want it, and they're
Right.
happy with the
Right.
product. It's very
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
fulfilling,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I want to ask you. You cornered a market of Halloween costumes with these very intricate mascot head like looks that are a complete like evolution from the old plastic masks with like a rubber band on the back of your head. What was it like doing that? And do you like remember your first big head piece that you officially made with the factory and what the learning curve was to that versus like now making Lewis the alligator, which is just a masterpiece. Like I'm holding like it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. When I wear this, everyone smiles. It is like being Lewis the alligator at Disney World. I can't describe. I don't know. It's bananas. It's wild. What's it like doing these?
yeah, it's definitely come a long way. Like I would say we are the best in the world at you think of any almost animal costume, those kinds of headpieces. Our main factory that we worked with started as a very small, like dirt floor, three sewing machines, and now they have a whole city block in China. And
Whoa.
uh, they're they have gotten just so good at that kind of just like my mom can't. We don't even have anyone in house that can make the sample of that because you have to like they take fabric and then they pin it and then they try to sew it. Like how do you get the shape of the eyes along with the nose? And we've gotten lucky with over the last 15, 20 years of just developing animals and going just keep getting more. First it starts with
Interesting.
a bear, probably something pretty simple, and then you're like, okay, now I want um I'm trying to think of like
Sea
a
turtle.
yeah, a sea turtle, right? And that's got a little bit
You have
more
it. I
to it.
saw it. It's great.
And then we go to some of the like bugs, and some of those have I'm thinking like a praying mantis, and it's got a whole headpiece and arms, and it just takes all this
Yeah.
intricate work to make a
Oh, interesting.
human look
It's
like a praying mantis.
right.
Hmm.
And I guess having a whole inventory of just animals isn't a bad thing. Everyone's always looking for an animal costume in
Yep.
some way, shape, or form. And in the same way that I could go to Target and get a 1999 bear, off the shelf, I could also go to like Folk Manus, the high end like bear replica plush puppet things, and get this incredibly like if I want the bear puppet, if I want the bear costume, I'm gonna get the one. It's not just being a fan of like Spider-Man or Darth Vader. It's like being a fan of bears, being a fan of turtles, it's just if you want the extra, you've got it. You've got the extra for people. Your sea turtle is magnificent, by the way. I was looking at it because I wanted Crush, and then you made Crush, and then I kind of laughed because it's like live action Crush now. Disney's making everything live action, so your sea turtle just looks like when live action Live Nemo comes, Finding
Sure.
Nemo, you already got it in the bag, baby. You just just pop the tags right on them. They're gonna be perfect. Can we talk about the purple Muppet, the purple puppet guy?
Sure.
What is his official name?
Monster.
Monster.
Yep.
Tom, like what is this purple guy? Like,
Sure. Where did he come from?
yeah.
So this started as uh, he didn't actually start as the idea of like let's make a puppet. What it started as was I wanted to make a really cool shipping box, and so I gave our designers like free reign of like just give me some ideas. So like when you get your box of costumes, that it looks really cool. And one of them designed this most amazing thing that looks like a monster like stuck in a crate, and it's just your box looks kind of look like wood, and it's like
Oh,
a
cool.
monster stuck in a crate, and so we went with that. And then one of my other designers that worked next to him was like a puppeteer and wanted like, hey, could I take that monster and like turn him into a puppet? Sure. And then
Wow.
and then he came up with that, and he was like super animated with him, and it was like, hey, that that joy or that kid that what I felt like when I was 8 was like coming out of this monster, and it was okay.
Yeah,
We got
he's got
something
such a great
here.
personality.
Yeah.
Truly, he has like that like whimsical childlike joy of
Yep.
Halloween.
Just
It's just
excitement about
chaos.
everything, and yeah, he's your
Yeah.
little inner child.
Yeah, he's a Halloween Elmo. He's essentially what he is. Like
Yep.
truly, he's a Halloween monster who just is he doesn't care about his ABCs. All he cares about is trick or treating and having fun, which is cool. I get it. I feel it. I get that. I feel
So
seen by
he's
that.
kind of
Truly.
involved from there. Yeah. And now we have him all over our website and helping you like with whatever returns or processes on our website and throw them into videos as well.
He's perfect. He's so great. He's so great. All I want to do is just like hang out with him. I got to play with him when I was down to visit, and he's just a bundle of joy. He's so much fun. Okay, the last big thing I wanted to ask you about is the new thing that you kind of been dabbling in, and is something as a Disney park fan and as a theme park fan in general, we all love is robots, is animatronics, robots at home. And one of the most interesting things I learned about animatronics commercially when I came to visit you guys is that you have such a close relationship with factories in that they give you all the puzzle pieces and then you guys get to figure out fun ways to dress them up into like what they can do. What has it been like making animatronics with this like grab bag of like fun abilities and techniques and kind of like this new market that you're exploring? Like, it must be the most fun thing in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Halloween costume seems cool, but robots?
I know. See, it's like another evolution of like this is the stuff that just keeps me engaged in my business. Is like I get to learn something new, and then I see more of a market where, again, I'm a fan of a bunch of stuff, and there's nothing out there. I need
Yeah,
more life-size stuff in my, office, and
yeah.
so how can I
Do
go get the
you? I
license?
have been there. I have been there. I don't know if you do need
I
more.
do. Wait, give me one more year, 6 months, and you come back and you're going to be like, okay, these are super cool.
Yeah,
Um,
well, your life-size Slimer animatronic is just the best, and your Nightmare Before Christmas collection is so much fun. You're not only just making fun spooky animatronics, but you're also making some really great exclusive licensed stuff. Is
mhm.
it different making a licensed robot versus making a licensed costume?
It is. It's different team, and you have to have a very good sculptor. Any of them too, where we have to put a costume on it, like uh, I would say a lot of the other, or some of the factories that work with other retailers, like we get so particular on the costume, like no, this costume isn't good enough, and so
Yeah, that's a big question I have about it.
we get stuck on probably like we probably should be spending more time on the animatronic itself, but we just default back to like
No,
fix the costume first.
yeah, your Jack Skellington has a full fit with a beautiful bow tie. It's no, it's its own Halloween costume on the animatronic. Is that hard because the factory that you're working with is just like it usually is? They're just used to animatronics. They're not used to making great costumes. Or do you partner and like marry things where you
I think we
some?
need to start doing that. So we haven't done that yet, but yeah, I think we need to bring our costume manufacturer in to make the costume sides.
Okay, this leads me to my ultimate pitch. Are you ready, Tom? I have the best animatronic for you.
Okay.
It is a Halloween mannequin animatronic. In that, it is a blank, like spooky mannequin that moves with the intent and purpose of you getting your beautiful Lewis or whatever costume you got. You say it fits an XL, whatever, and then you can turn any of your things, any of your business.
This is a
Tom.
it's such a good idea that it may already slightly be in the works.
Whoa! I'm a fortune teller. Okay.
Uh, might not be a full mannequin, but the idea of, I think where I went to, like my dad during Halloween we'd have a scarecrow up front of our yard, and then on Halloween would like get into the costume to scare the kids. So I want an animatronic where so it's maybe just the bones of an animatronic, and you've got your scary mask, scary costume that you get to put outside all of
Yes.
October, and then on the 31st you get to go throw it on and scared the
Tom, this is
bejesus.
genius. All right, and then I'm going to come to Mankato for like a week, the first week of October next year, and we're going to do it a live HGTV, like 12 hours a day of me just selling animatronic bones, and it's just going to be us putting on costumes, just nonstop, drinking coffee, sitting behind a countertop, taking live calls. People are going to buy these, man. They're going to.
Okay.
This is it's a Shark Tank worthy idea, Tom.
Is
Is what
it?
I'm
So we're
saying.
just gonna have cool different shots of like, okay, if Lewis was in your office, if Lewis was
Right,
on
yeah.
your front porch, if
Right, exactly.
Okay.
If Lewis is in your bathroom, in your shower to scare your girlfriend, whatever
Got
it
it.
is,
Okay.
and it has to have a battery pack, right? So that it has
Sure.
has some.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of animatronic features, your animatronics have volume buttons. What?
I mean,
What?
you kind of
What?
need that. I know, yeah. You gotta have
You do. They don't
louder.
exist, Tom. They don't exist. You're the only animatronics I've really encountered that have not even the ability to turn the volume on and off, just so you can have a spooky animatronic moving without it screaming at you all the time in your house. So,
Yeah, well, you
Thank
can't
you.
have a grouping of stuff. Like, you can't have like four Nightmare Before Christmas all talking over each other. So you gotta have like the one you want louder and then turn the other two down. Yeah.
oh my gosh, Tom, you were such a businessman. You are incredible. Because I'm sitting here like an idiot thinking, yeah, you just want to. So when I get my Oogie Boogie, I can just hang out with him quietly. And you're like, no, no, no. When you get all four of your animatronics, you can hang out with all four of them quietly.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Tom, you are seriously my favorite. Hey, every episode, Tom, we like to talk about fun stuff we're doing for fun. That we do for fun. And you're the king of fun now. I don't know. You've been granted that title by me. I hope you're comfortable.
You called
with
him the
that.
Goblin King of Fun, I believe.
The Goblin King of Fun, right? Yeah.
Really
I
not
hope,
a bad-
I hope that
not
your
bad.
employees, both seasonal and not, aren't offended by me calling them goblins. But I just don't know what else. And if you can, like, what they're the equivalent of, it's a magical thing. It's like it's David Bowie goblins, like good goblins, like they're fun to hang out with goblins. They're not bad goblins, but they're just spooky Halloween creatures. Like, what do you want me to call you guys? I don't know.
Yeah, we're fine. Like I
Ghouls?
said, we're good with it. Yeah. I sometimes refer to my team as like, the toys under SIDS.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're,
Yes.
we're super nerdy, super geeky that other companies might think we're a little too weird, but together we're the right team.
Right. No, you definitely are the right team. You're definitely the right team. You're definitely the right team. So what, and I'll go first, but, and then Tom, feel free to go after Nathan. We're going to talk about something we're doing for fun. And for me right now, it's The Incredibles in Fortnite. I am truly living for being Mrs. Incredible in Fortnite with my incredible hips, just destroying in the lobbies. You know what I mean? I feel so beautiful and powerful and stretchy. And I just feel like such a strong woman as Mrs. Incredible. As Mrs. Incredible in Fortnite, I'm having a blast. I'm talking about Fortnite too much on this podcast, but I just want to say it's great. And Tom and I play it together. Tom is a Fortnite pro. Don't be
Not
sleeping
true.
on Tom. Don't be sleeping on Tom. What are you kidding me? You're very good. You're very good. So yeah, I'm playing Fortnite as Mrs. Incredible, and that brings joy to my heart. Nathan.
We did do the bye 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 dance
Oh
with a
my
bunch of
gosh!
people.
Yeah, I forgot all about the NSYNC "Bye Bye Bye" dance
That
from
one made me,
Deadpool.
yeah.
Is now in the game as a synced emote, guys. So like up to like 20 people can do it at the same time, and it's truly great. We formed our own boy band with Rob and other podcast guests and Ben, future podcast guests. So it was great. We have a blast in Fortnite, man. It's fun. That's interesting thing. It's so interesting that you like Fortnite like I do, because one of their like creeds as a company is like make the fun choice. Like when it comes to video game gameplay, like make the fun choice. Like don't just have a car that drives around, put rocket boosters in it and let them pick what color it can be. Like just don't just have a grenade launcher, have an Easter egg grenade launcher for or a pumpkin rocket launcher for Halloween. Just make the fun choice, and that's why I like it. That's why I like.
This is where my son learns all about the licenses I already know. Like Alien movie came into the game, and that's how he learned about it. The anime, Attack on Titan, that's how he's learning about it. And so it's interesting
Oh yeah,
how
yeah.
I'm getting him involved in all of my favorite movies and
Right,
TV
because it's
shows
definitely
because
catering to millennial
like
dads.
Ninja Turtles, like all that
Yeah.
stuff is in
Oh
Fortnite.
yeah. Oh yeah. It is such millennial dad bait and mom bait now because my girlfriend plays Fortnite. She rocks hard. She's incredible at it. She's so good at it. I can't believe how good she is at it. So it's like it's become this thing the whole family does now. Me and my 2 daughters and my girlfriend all squad up. It's a mess. It's a mess every time I carry the team unmercilessly. My girlfriend, God bless her, she's incredible. But the two of us with my 2 children, although not you, Tom, your child is like a savant at Fortnite.
That's
I don't
true.
know
I'm way
that
worse
kid's
than he
up
is.
doing.
Yeah. I'm shooting
kid
around people. He's taking on 3-on-1. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God! It's like where's Tom's kid? Oh, he's halfway across the map and he's killed 70 people. Okay, great.
Yep.
All right, Tom, what are you up to for fun? What's feeling?
Yeah, Nathan's turn first.
Oh,
You got all
Nathan.
excited about Fortnite.
I
As you
did.
always
Well,
do.
Fortnite does that to me.
Fortnite, you
it's
gotta
fun.
start paying us for how much Dan
I can get a creator code. Let's do it. Let's
do it.
Tom and I were gonna. I pitched to Tom's company a bunch of like long form media, and one of it is just me and Tom playing Fortnite in intricate Halloween costumes.
That match our characters, or like,
Yeah, that match our
okay.
characters. Yeah,
And if
yeah,
we
yeah,
win,
yeah.
do we have to do like a dance or something?
Oh
or,
yeah. You're gonna wear the premium Darth Vader, and you're gonna dab in it while playing. You're gonna be sweating a lot. I'm sorry, but
Dan, you
we're
want to
gonna
talk
sell
about
so many.
You want to talk about everything except what I'm having fun with. Just
Yeah, because I see what it is and I don't get it. Baked apples
Yeah.
is your fun thing.
It is. How dare you yuck my yum? No, I have.
All right, comment everyone if you're listening, or like if this is a video, comment that you support Nathan and his explaining of whatever apple is going to happen.
No,
here.
I love baked apples. 'Tis the season, and I have an air fryer now, and ovens are not fun. Ovens are boring and they take too long. But a nice air fryer, you can bake apples in like 15 minutes, and that is perfect. I love a good baked apple. It's a good little snack. Little
So
treat.
you just toss it in there raw?
Yeah, well, no, you can put a little cinnamon, maple syrup.
You cinnamon pre?
You can, yes, and then you just put it in.
And then what do you
that's
it's like a
time.
baked potato, but it's an apple?
Yeah, it's a baked apple.
It's like a is it mushy like applesauce, or does it have like
No, you can
like
pick it
cut
up
it
with
like
your
a
hands.
watermelon?
Yeah,
What?
you can pick it up with your hands if it's
Hot?
Yeah, you can.
And
Yeah,
you're just eating a hot apple?
You
Is that what it
can.
is, or is it softer?
it's very much softer. Wait, Dan,
I've had
hold
a
on.
dumpling.
Hold on,
Apple dumpling.
we gotta go back. Am I getting
Yeah.
an idea here that you've never had a baked apple?
Yeah, what? Who eats a hot apple? That sounds awful.
It's
No,
like
it doesn't have
cut,
to be
right?
hot.
Like cut it and
Yeah,
then
you slice it, and then they're little slices, and you put it.
So I've
in
had
the air
apple
fryer.
pie where someone slices an apple and then like cooks it. I've had a dumpling where someone slices an apple and cooks it.
I mean,
I guess I can't wrap my head around eating an apple that's hot with no crust.
you know what? I'm gonna send you the recipe, and you're gonna have to try them because they're a good time. They're a good time.
You know what? It's apple picking season, so maybe.
Exactly.
All right, Tom. I hope you have something cooler than bacon apples.
not really. I don't know. It's giving a hard time.
My fun. Look at this guy.
What do we got? I mean,
Notfun.com.
I don't know. It's October, so I'm like heavy into
Nothing. You're doing nothing.
selling
You're a
stuff for
businessman.
sure. Yeah, I am planning like some trips. So I've got my trip in November to the Virgin Islands, and then I'm planning a trip with my son again to Disney. So we're planning we might do like one of those VIP tour things. I haven't done one of those before.
Call me up, Tom. I'll come down. I'll
Yeah.
come down for a VIP tour, man. I'll come hang out with you and your son VIP
Yeah,
touring.
I think we're.
I'll sit in the back seat of Smuggler's Run. I don't care, man. I'll be the fillers. I'll just push the dumb buttons with the VIP guy. We'll just be back there like, haha, yeah, and we'll give you the premium experience.
All right. I don't know. I'm excited for that. So planning some dates there, and he loved it last time we went down, to the Star Wars land, and
It's great. Did you build a droid or do a lightsaber?
we built a droid. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, cool. You got a lightsaber.
Haven't done the lightsaber yet. Yep. And I've got
Ooh,
a friend I might bring who's never been to Disney, who's my age, 40, And so it's his birthday, and he never been to Disney. And I was like, so yeah, I was explaining like you need to go to the Star Wars land, and then I realized like he never been to Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta bring him.
It's going to be great. It's the whole joy of having children is just exposing them to the things you love. And so having like, what will essentially be an adult child now, like with the mystery and wonder, wandering through being like, haha, it's going to be great. Yeah, I definitely want to be there for that. Tom, call me up, baby.
All right, I'll let you know when the dates are.
Now, I just want that sweet VIP tour button.
Now, Dan, before we leave, Dan, there is some very, very important news I must share with you. And we can end the podcast. But fuzzygnomes.com is available.
Whoa, okay.
Get it. Hurry before this launches. Do you want me to buy it? I'll buy it.
Yeah, the Empire. You got it. And you got to get the other one, too, whatever it was, like Fuzzy Dice or Jacuzzis.
I don't remember what it was either.
fuzzygnomes.com.
I would give anything to see what your GoDaddy domain list is that you like, the domains that you own.
There's a few hundred in there.
I would pay money to see your portfolio of domains because I bet it is fascinating.
So Fuzzy Gnomes, we should redirect where? Should we redirect it to Dan's YouTube page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How dare you?
We'll send it. Let's send it to. Yeah.
Or are we building a site? Who's building a site for this? You want me to just put up an animated little GIF of a...
Squarespace is my sponsor on Disney Dan, so I could just throw one together. We'll just redirect it of me wearing a fuzzy gnome costume, I guess.
Okay.
Done and done.
I'll call your marketing team. They'll send me one.
All right.
I mean, they'll just send me a gnome. I'm fuzzy. I'll be the fuzzy part.
Oh, man.
This is amazing. You guys are amazing. Thanks so much for joining me, Tom. Nathan, I'm sorry about your Apple situation. I don't know what to tell you.
That's all right. Now, as the CEO of fuzzygnomes.com, I'm going to be just fine.
Do you ever eat a hot pear?
No, I'm not a psycho.
What do you mean you're not a psycho? A pear is just a sandy apple. It's just like just a sandy apple.
Sacrilege in this podcast.
What about a hot banana? What other things are you eating hot that no other normal human does? Well, this has been fun. I hope. Let me know in the comments if you were worried about Nathan like I am. Head on over to HalloweenCostumes.com/DisneyDan to get 15% off everything on the website. I am the first official HalloweenCostumes.com link. So get that.
And then check out Dan in all of his amazing costumes in our modeling of Disney made by us.
I did a nice little walkthrough of all your Halloween costumes over on your YouTube channel. You have to go watch it. There's a little preview of it in my video, but the long form, half an hour of me just having fun putting on silly costume heads. It's absolutely incredible. I had a blast. There's also a good video of me doing a Nightmare Before Christmas animatronic breakdown with a team, and we had a really great conversation about how animatronics is, in a lot of ways, even at HalloweenCostumes.com, go through the same journeys that animatronics like at Tiana's Bayou Adventure do. There's a team that develops the robot parts, then there's a finishing team that makes it look beautiful, and it's like a marriage of like these two things, like we talked about on this very episode. So check out a lot of great content I shot over there. I had so much fun with your team. They truly were a blast. It was awesome.
Cool. Well, thanks for having me, guys. And
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Everyone check out fuzzygnomes.com.
And don't forget, if you need a Santa costume or an elf costume or a Cupid, a candy cane costume, if you're tree number 7, head on down to the Grinch, anything. Yep. A New Year's Eve baby. Like, it's not just Halloween. They got costumes for everything. HalloweenCostumes.com/DisneyDan, 50%. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks. See you guys.
This has been a production of 710 Media.